Presidential Stratocaster 60th anniversary. I haven't heard of these things before. From 2006, they made 100 of these, I guess, according to this listing. And oh my goodness, it came with a bottle of wine from California. Nowhere near as cool as the Gibson Syrup Les Paul, though. Well, you know what? No, I actually looked up what it looked like, and it came with its own custom crate that has the Fender Custom Shop logo on it. And when you pry that thing open, the wine is beautifully sealed with this black paper that has even more Custom Shop branding. I'm sure there's many people who were tempted to drink that. At least save the empty bottle for case candy. But this has an interesting light pink burst, but then mixed with the natural wood underneath, and it's a flame top Stratocaster. You got gold hardware, you don't see that too often. And hey, do you see what I see on the fretboard? Real mother of pearl inlays and a cheesy diamond inlay with 60 and the years, as well as Fender's branding on it. That fretboard looks really dry, needs some help, and the frets could be polished. But ooh, looks like we're gonna have some nice figuring on the back. And okay, it's a custom shop model, locking tuners. Just in case the inlays weren't enough, they also wanted to put it on the neck plate. That's kind of a cool model. I needed to look up some more photos because that just wasn't quite doing it. So here's a couple other beauty shots from some other sellers. But easily the favorite one that I ran across is this really nice wide flame top. You just don't find that on Stratocasters every day. Now, is it worth paying 5 to 10 grand for? I'll let you be the judge. But welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information. It's the Trogly's Guitar Show. Lovey's just put this thing on reverb, and I just had to check it out. So, somebody has taken a regular Les Paul Classic, plugged up the stop bar tailpiece holes, and presumably routed it out for a Floyd Rose. You don't see that every day, and it looks like they put some Fishman Fluids pickups in it just for fun. It wasn't all that long ago that you could pick up a classic like this for like $1,500, sometimes as low as $1,100 if you're getting a really good deal. So if you knew the right guy to do these modifications, and you didn't want to fork out for the custom shop Les Paul accesses, sometimes it would make sense to do this. And currently we can look at this and go, oh yeah, rather than, oh no, the horror, because honestly these classics aren't that expensive even yet today. But yeah, sure enough, installed the locking nut, chopped your classic truss rod cover. Seems to have been very professionally done. You even have a new custom backplate. And if you're curious what these weird things are, they actually are a specific type of strap lock. It's spelled LOXX. But I remember the first time I ran into a set of those, I was just like, what on earth? But oh, that's a bummer. It doesn't give us any of the inside shots, so we don't actually get to see how well it was routed or not. But it still has an error correct case. But next up, look what showed up again. This time at Billy O's, we got a $1,900 2014 Gibson Les Paul Traditional Pro 2. But it's been highly modified. We talked about this one when it was last listed, so we won't go too in depth, but basically, somebody did a whole bunch of additional inlay work on this thing. So we do have a flower vine inlay on the headstock, but they just took this regular traditional and did the Tree of Life inlay over top of it. So if you look here, you can still see your trapezoid inlays hiding underneath. They didn't take those out, fill them in, and then do it, which might have turned out better had they had done that, but at the same time, the Tree of Life can get very confusing. So if you squint your eyes a little bit, you can still see your regular markers. However, to get that on a guitar, you're talking Les Paul Ultima level, so 10 grand bare minimum, unless you can find like a really beat up, damaged one. So this one's kind of unique in that aspect that you can have it on a Gibson USA and be under 2,000. I don't remember it having the headstock repair last time, so I'm not sure if that's new or my memory's just failing me on that. But that's the reason why the headstock has been darkened. Then check this out that was listed today by Zoo Music Dallas. What they have in their shop here is an early Gibson custom shop creation. You gotta remember, that started in late 1993. They started to figure out what they wanted to do as far as reissues, and then they started to have some fun with sparkly finishes, the Bantam Elite series, eventually leading into the Florentines. It was a very experimental period of time. And I've already talked many a times of how I want one of these cherry sparkles because of the Steve Stevens Association. However, this one showed up with P90 pickups this time. Not exactly what I'm looking for, and this one just has a lot of finish checking to it, but then the back is just completely black. It's not uncommon for the finish on these 90s Gibson's headstocks to just flake. But this one appears to have come stock with a Bigsby on it, just for extra blinginess. And cool, still has the original paperwork, 10/4/96. Listed as the LPP96. It's listed by Gear Nuts in Columbia City, Indiana, which if you don't know, that's actually Sweetwater selling on Reverb. It looks like this is the one that's listed because for some reason they have the brass showing on the tailpiece. Okay. But I just wanted to see some more photos of the regular ones. Cool. The more we know. Now I wanted to click on this because a Les Paul KM for $3,800 is not too bad. So bridge and tailpiece look okay. The discoloration of the bridge pickup ring, sometimes that happens. It's kind of a weird anomaly thing. However, we've got the double cream pickups, and that's what's most important to the value of the KM. But, why would you do that? Why would you scratch out the KM part of that? That probably happened before these became slightly collectible and somebody just wanted it to read Les Paul. But we do still have the original mother of pearl inlays. Looks like somebody put the Dunlop strap locks on it. We've got some sort of a waxy buildup around our frets on the fretboard. Good, we've got the T's, so that is indeed the original T-tops there. Again, just that set of pickups spare, you could probably get $1,200 for them. Then the back, it's scratched up a bit, but overall doesn't seem to be in too bad of shape. And the weight is about what you expect on one of those. Truss rod appears to be okay, but just because it looks good doesn't mean it is. Always test. And nice. Super untouched cavity. I like that. And you get the chainsaw case. So basically the worst thing is what he talks about here, and you could technically replace that. I'd say throw that guy an offer. That's a fair price. But then there was an XR3. The extended range series is interesting. I do want the XR1, 2, and 3 in my collection. And we've reviewed some of these in the past if you want to look up the videos. Unfortunately, this one doesn't line up for me price and or condition wise. But the best way to think of these is the Studio series right before the Studio came out in '83. Except for the XR2, that thing's just its own weird freaky thing, but I love it. This one's very beat up with a candy apple red finish. You can see some of the silver poking through here. But our next one, a straight up Les Paul Artist. For me, the Ebony Artist is like the guitar because when I was planning out my initial collection of like the fancy Norlin era ones, I knew I needed an Ebony custom within it. And since I already had like a Tobacco 2550, I thought the Artist is the one that needs to be Ebony in my collection. So whenever I see one of these, I just have to smile. But yeah, this one has some super aging to the lacquer. Honestly, the gold doesn't seem to be in that bad of condition. We definitely need to get one of these on the show again. I know they look like a custom from the front, but when you flip them over to the back, they're more so like a standard that's been dressed up, because they actually have a comfort cut back here that makes them unique, and of course all the Moog electronics that honestly just do not sound good at all. There's a reason why most of these artists were converted. But here we go, Leo's Les Paul reissue. You don't see these every day anymore, so $6,750. Whenever you see a Leo's, there's a few things you need to think about. Is it Kalamazoo built or is it Nashville? Because that makes a lot of difference as to how you're going to evaluate it. Next, you need to evaluate the top. Is it a good one, a bad one? I would say this one's very cherry. It's in your face with that. But as far as the top goes, I like it. It's got character. It's maybe not the most uniform top that we've ever seen, but it's different. We've got our ABR1 bridge. It looks like the original knobs. I would want to verify those pickups. But it's definitely been used. It's got scratches, nicks and dings, a really dark rosewood fretboard on that one. And we've got replaced tuners, locking in style, LI for Leo's music. Number 451, looks like some mild trauma back here, but no necessarily breaks, cracks, or repairs. Yeah, I definitely agree with the shop calling it fair condition. It's been pretty worn. Somebody's replaced our strap buttons on it. A little bit of wear through to the wood. Oh, come on. You didn't give us the most important photo. So to tell a Leo's Les Paul reissue, you need to take this back cover off. If you have a serial number stamped in the ledge in here, that's how you know it's a KZ made one and they are more sought after. However, with a late serial like that, it's probably Nashville made. But to round out tonight's episode, here's one from Chicago Music Exchange. So straight up Les Paul custom, but this time in factory first quality super sparkly orange. I dig it, however, the fact that that pickguard does not fit those pickup rings kind of bugs me on a brand new guitar. I think I'd contact Gibson under warranty to see if they would replace that with a slightly better fitting one, because everything else about that, the orange and the black, Halloween time coming up, they even opted to do the sparkly finish on the back as well. However, I think a nice natural color would have looked great too. Sparkle orange, probably one of the nicer sparkly finishes. Alright, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care. And if you want some more presidential guitar fun, check out the Old Hickory Les Paul. Or if you want more miscut pick guards that are there on purpose, how about the Epiphone Jeff Beck?